Hi, welcome back to the Woodshop Nerdery. This is the final video of the Stickley Highlands bookshelf build. If you'd like to catch up on the previous videos, please check out my channel for the playlist. In this video, I'll apply the dye, stain, and final coats of finish. I'm not going to bore you with a bunch of sanding footage, but there is a lot of sanding that needs to be done. So I'm using 180 grit high quality sandpaper for the 5-inch random orbital sander. This is just a standard Bosch sander, and I've got a dust collection hose hooked up here. I have a Y splitter coming off my dust collector, and I have a secondary pickup hose here to pick up the dust that this doesn't pick up. To do the hand sanding, I like these two sanding blocks. Both of them use the same 5-inch hook and loop discs, which is great because I don't have to have multiple sets of sandpaper on hand. I can just use the same pack for both needs. This product is from Milescraft. This product is from Wolfcraft, and I really like them both. My only complaint, or the only issue I have, is sometimes because these do have the holes in them, the holes get caught as I'm hand sanding the workpiece. First round is done with the random orbital sander. Second round is done with my hand sander, sanding with the grain. If I have any stubborn spots, I'm using a hand scraper. And then of course I've got a roll of just the sandpaper for corners and such. I am going to do the first two staining steps with these disassembled. Then I'm using the blue painter's tape to mask off the tenons. This product is from Wolfcraft, and I actually just bought 3 of those, and then I label them 120, 220, 80. Actually, this has 180 on here. I usually keep 180, 120, or 150 on this one so that I can have coarse, medium, and fine sandpaper ready to go. I've got my work pieces laid out, and I'm ready to apply the Zinsser Seal Coat Shellac mixed 50-50 with denatured alcohol. I do this so that the dye stain I add in the next step penetrates the wood evenly. It's also one of my favorite parts. Okay, I've got the Seal Coat Shellac on, and I've sanded it with this sanding sponge to make sure it's nice and smooth and all the nibs are gone. I've also mixed up this batch of Trans Tint Dark Brown Mission dye stain in denatured alcohol. I like to mix it about half the concentration set out by the instructions because, well, I'm afraid of going too dark. I can always come back with dye stain and make it darker with a second application, but it's pretty difficult to make it any lighter. So yeah, that's looking awesome. Wow, on this white oak, this looks amazing. So I'll leave this sit on here for a few minutes, then I'll come back with a paper towel and just wipe off the excess. One advantage of wiping off the excess is you can kind of blend it. So if you've got any spots that are a little bit different color, you can wipe a little harder while it's still just a little bit wet. So I've got the Zinsser Seal Coat Shellac on, I've got the Trans Tint Dark Mission Brown dye stain on, and it's a nice, lovely brown color, but I'm still not done. At this point, my work pieces are equivalent to the number 4 sample I made up here. That's the shellac with the Trans Tint Dark Mission Brown, but I'm going for number 3. So that means I'll be applying a coat of this Varathane gel stain. It's the Ipswich Pine. I think that for Mission furniture, this number 3 is just a beautiful color. It's got a nice rich tone to it, but it's not too dark. I'm really happy with the color I achieved by putting on the seal coat shellac, transtent dye stain, and then the gel stain on top. Because the gel stain is basically embedded in polyurethane, I should be able to do this glue up without worrying about squeeze out. I'll just be able to wipe it right off. Well, I just dropped this piece, so I may have damaged it, but I'll have to fix that after the glue up. I can't stop the glue up now. Okay, well that's this one glued up. I'll do a little more cleanup here before I get the next one on the bench. I'll do it the same way, and then I'll bring you back when I'm attaching these two sides to the shelving structure. So yesterday I assembled both side assemblies and glued them up. They've been curing for about 24 hours. From here on out, I have to assemble the whole bookshelf all together, including all 6 shelves plus the 2 stretchers. I'm using this Gorilla Wood Glue Ultimate, and it says here at the bottom it has 15 minutes of open time. And typically, once you get the joint closed together, you have maybe another 5 to 6 minutes of working time, although I can't find documentation stating what the working time on this glue is. So I'm going to set myself up a timer on my cell phone for 15 minutes, because once I start this process, typically I have no clue how long it's taking me. So we'll see how I do on the timer. Well, for several videos now, I've been holding up these project plans to you in front of the camera. But now I don't need the project plan anymore. I can show you the finished bookshelf. After that last scene, I continue to add clamps to the assembly and let the whole thing dry for a day. Then I applied 3 coats of the Minwax wipe-on polyurethane, sanding with this fine sanding sponge in between each coat. And I'm really loving the finish. It looks great and my family really likes it as well. And it really is showing off the ray flecking and the white oak. That does it for this video. I hope to see you all in the next one.